Yo, what's up, everybody? Y'all already know who it is. Target individual CJBK. Today, I just got something in the mail, and I've been meaning. I've had it on my eBay watch list for quite some time. Um, Today, I basically what I did was I placed an order for um a copper um a copper I guess I could call it like a not a copper sheet, but it's a copper material. um Let me see, what is it actually called? Basically it's like a copper fabric. There we go, it's a copper fabric. And it's made by a company called Amradield, or Amerad yeah, Amradield, or yeah, Amradield. And basically I'll just read from here. um just show you these little symbols too: Wi-Fi, frequencies, radiation, smart meters, cell towers, satellites. um it's basically it's a blocker of frequencies and radiation. Very easy, reading from here, very easy to handle, cut, sew, and tape easily. Usage for bags, curtains, tents, etc. Effective shielding for cell towers, microwave signals, phones, smart meters, security systems, radar, military broadcasts, etc. Making home textiles, anti static cloth, wireless meter shielding, e textiles, shielding curtain, EMP, electromagnetic pulse, and EMI, electromagnetic interference, radiation reduction. High shielding conductive fabric for blocking radio frequency signals such as cell phones, Bluetooth, or signals such as it says cell, Bluetooth, Wi Fi, and GPS. As an insert in the wallet or handbag to protect your credit cards, bank cards, or passport from data theft. Now, I'm doing this because I've already at least slept with it on one day. Like I slept with it last night. I got it in the mail yesterday, and I guess I'll just show you what it looks like too. So, uh, basically, it literally looks like a sheet, you know. But I'm also realizing too, it's a fabric, so basically looks like this. Now, I'll tell you this. First day when I got it, right? So I told you I get V2K, right? So when I first got it, first thing I heard when I took it out of the mail envelope, I heard them yell out, "Oh!" Like they were like surprised by something as soon as I took it out the bag. So I'm guessing they probably noticed instantaneously that the frequencies that are in the air were not penetrating through the fabric even when it came in this plastic. This is the bag that it comes in. Um, yeah, and then it even says, yeah, it says armor deal right on it. Guard yourself and your family. Uh, Let me see how to use the fabric. How to use the fabric. This fabric works well if used in the right way. If you want to block the radiation or signal, you need to wrap the radiation sources completely with no little hole. So I'm gonna say this. I slept with it over my head, right? So like I had it kind of like this. So I had it like this, and I tried to like tie it something like this. But obviously, it's not like it works to a degree, but because there's still access points, you know, that they can get to, it's like even like right now while I have it like this, it reduced the amount of frequencies that I feel on my head right now. Even with just this one layer, right? Adding it says adding earthing wire for grounding is better, but is not 100% needed. Earthing wire for grounding basically meaning if you were to connect, remember the remember the copper and alligator clamp wiring that I made, and I showed you. I got it from Tony Pantalaresco's video on the YouTube channel Herbs Plus Beadwork. Basically they're saying if you were to clip this, if you were to clip wait, I was like, I thought I had it somewhere nearby. All right, I'll show you. So basically this, if this is what I'm referring to. So that's an alligator clamp, copper wire, and then a piece of metal that's not connected to anything attached to you. So let's say if I were to, 1 second. Okay, so as I have it like tied around my head now, right? If I were to take this in and let's say just clip it, here, maybe I'll do the back. So I basically clipped it. You can see it this way. So you see how I clipped it? Hey. That actually feels pretty good though. Not even gonna lie, that actually feels pretty good. But yeah, so basically they're saying if you were to clip it, to that and then have it attached to something else that's metal, then it would basically absorb even more of the energy or the radiation being directed to you. Now I'm going to continue reading too, so then you can also understand something else. The more layers of the fabric for shielding, the stronger it can block the radiation or frequencies. Make sure all the sides are covered. Remember, you don't want no holes. So this is still technically leaving some holes or gaps. So like this is just basically me trying out a product in a sense. I just wanted to try it out just to see what it feels like. And I can tell that like I can tell that if I were to actually use this material, and let's say if I don't want to completely cover my entire room because I just don't have the funds for it. I've heard of people doing stuff like if they even just took like a big cardboard box that let's say like a sofa came in or something, and then they turned that into like a Faraday cage for them to sleep in. I know the idea sounds like sleeping in a box, but it's like if you're not going to turn off all the electricity from your circuit breaker in your home or your apartment, then especially if you live in an apartment building, you know, well, okay, you're making it harder for yourself if you don't turn off the electricity in your apartment, right? But you also got to take in consideration that your neighbors, your surrounding neighbors, may have a device in their apartment that they're basically triangulating you with. Um, uh, I noticed that, like, when I slept with it, I felt the reduction in the attacks, right? I felt the reduction, but then I could tell I was still being, attacked in some degree. I've even had like several dreams last night. Not all of them were bad, but one particular one stood out where I was basically walking up the steps what looked like an apartment building, and I saw my feet just slowly walking up the steps, and then I looked to my left, and I seen this man, and he was wearing like this bronze. It was like a bronze, like it was bronze or brown, like looked like gladiator uniform or whatever. And strangely enough, he looked like this actor named Boris Kojo. But as I looked at him and we were both walking up the steps, he like pointed his finger up. And then I looked up and all of a sudden I saw what looked like the entrance to heaven. It was like blue sky with the clouds looked like a ground, and it led to like a gate, and there was like a light shining like through the gate. It was weird, like, because it was like I had a few other bad dreams before then, but for whatever reason, I wasn't necessarily scared in the dreams. I felt annoyed in the dreams, more annoyed than fearful or anything, because I don't know, it was kind of almost like I was being sent on some wild goose chase to find something that was basically, almost like not able to be found, because maybe they were, I don't know, I don't even know. I can't even remember that dream fully. But then after all those weird dreams, that's when I had what looked like the staircase to heaven dream, you know. But anyway, I'll keep reading from here. Um, Let me see. Da. If you want to only reduce the signal, you can put the fabric on the object. EMI shielding tape is included. The tape So I guess like this is the copper EMI shielding tape. EMI shielding tape is included with our fabric for DIY or seal the connection. Um, Backside is instruction for use and test. Warm tips. Let me see. Some people are allergic to nickel, so do not let your skin contact with it. Do not let your skin come in contact with it directly for a long time. Do not get close to an outlet or brush against any electrical outlets and power sources, as it is a conductive fabric. Copper fabric is not washable. It still can work even if it got dirty. You can use a damp cloth to lightly wipe and let air dry if needed. Store in a clean and dry environment. And then here it shows how you can cut the size you need to do it yourself closures and whatnot. So that's that. Then it's also showing the ranges of, frequencies it can, protect against. So these are frequencies it's been tested against. Right. And then and then on the back it shows you how to actually test the cloth against, how to test the cloth against, EMF. Well, yeah, how you test the cloth on your phone, and it'll show how it reduces the radiation coming from the phone. I don't have another cell phone to show you that that test, but I have done it in a sense where um oh, and then it also sends you a free credit card protector. Um, this helps protect your RFID, um, chip from being scanned or something like that. Um, so yeah, I basically have found this to be a kind of like a breakthrough little test because I've always been curious about these shielding fabrics and how effective can they be. So yeah, like I said, I slept with it on my head, and for the most part, I didn't wake up with my head feeling like cloudy or like feeling heavy, yeah, heavy headed or anything like that. Um, Now the rest of my body still, obviously is exposed. So that's one of the things that you got to also pay attention to is like even if you shield your head, the rest of your body is still exposed, including your spine. If your spine is exposed, they can, your body is still, your spine is still coming in contact with the frequencies. If any other part of your body is still exposed, they basically can still transmit frequencies to your body. Now, here's one thing interesting that I tried earlier today. See my ceiling? Now, watch this. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to do what I did earlier, right? Notice the dog. Pay attention to the dog that just barked. That dog helps me out a lot. It's their dog. But that dog has a very, very keen timing. And when it barks, and then when I hear something happening above my head, especially moments just before it sounds like a heavy device is placed on the ground above my head. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape this to the ceiling where um, where I had it earlier. Now, earlier when I did this, I heard the dragging of something heavy with like rubber, like something that had like rubber footies. You know how like a stand has like the rubber, like the rubber things on the feet of the legs. So when I taped it up the first time, I heard something being dragged across the floor. The bed is, I mean, like my bed is right where the phone is laying. I mean, obviously, you seen I was sitting on my bed. So, all right. Bear with me. All right. So, you see, I placed it. Huh. So I placed it on. Thought I seen something from the corner of my eye somewhere, but Maybe it was nothing. But anyway, I placed it right over my bed just like this. And the moment I did that, that's when I heard like a lot of like dragging of something heavy across the floor. And then huh. Now, as I'm actually doing this recording, there's a I just got my robo killer just detected a foreign, or basically a bot call, which is basically a hacking. Yeah, 570-470-3313. Yeah, that's my robo killer basically detecting someone trying to hack my phone. Anyway, yeah, so remember I told you that, they basically use these phone numbers. We normally think of them as spam calls, but they're not just spam calls anymore. They're actually ways that they basically call your phone, so then they can be able to gain access, because your phone will receive the phone call. Once it receives the phone call, they will then hack into your phone's cellular network, which will then give them access to your actual device. Once they gain access to your device, then they basically can control the hardware of your phone and also control your cellular network. Once they gain access to your hardware, your phone, they can then cause your phone to emit um, frequency sounds, like extremely low frequency sounds that you can't hear. And I've said this in videos before, where the way they do it is they basically um, um, yeah, once they gain access to your phone, they emit these sounds. And how I found out that they're doing it, I just took my thumb, right? The camera's right next to the part where you would the receiver, and where you would listen, on your phone. So I just took my thumb and I placed it over the receiver end. When I placed it over the receiver end, all of a sudden I felt the pressure in my head go down. And I said, what the hell was that? And then I took my thumb off the receiver, and then all of a sudden, boom, the pressure went back up in my head. So I did it like a few more times just to make sure I wasn't bugging. And it's true. They basically can force your phone to emit sound that you can't hear, and that sound is actually having influence over your health. Um, so there's that part. Then also they can activate your facial recognition or near infrared camera in your device, and that information, that's the that near infrared camera, it shoots out like little tiny lasers that basically are scanning your face for basically details and electrical data and things of that sort. And your phone also is well equipped with sensors that basically can detect electrical your bioelectric data. So like um, if your phone can check your heart rate or your blood pressure or anything like that, they basically gain access to the hardware in your phone that can sense those things. And then they'll take that data, and then they'll reroute it and send it to their network cloud server, where at some remote location, wherever they are, they'll take that, and then they'll create, like, that's how they basically create your avatar in their virtual world. And they basically attack your avatar, and your phone is connected to you. So when they're attacking that avatar, they basically are attacking you in a sense. um so Right. So I placed this over my bed, right? And then, like, after I heard them move stuff around, blah blah blah, they still are preventing me from being able to charge my phone with my portable charger. Um I gotta make sure I do a proper video of that. They did it to my girlfriend at first, so they did it with her phone because I got the idea to buy this particular portable charger because when they kept destroying all of my charger cables, um, by causing my phone to basically overheat and basically rot the metal portion of the charger cable. I kind of just like, I don't know, I just gave up and I stopped buying the charger cables. um and then when I finally decided to get my portable charger, it's been charging perfectly ever since. But then all of a sudden now, lately, they started to basically try to prevent my phone from charging using the vacuum, the energy vacuum, like I showed you in the video earlier. So yeah, they got all types of ways that they're gonna try to see if they can harass me and whatnot. But I mean, I already expect them to do everything that they're doing. That's the best part about doing proper research and understanding, like reading about what other TIs are going through, and then also I read tactics that the military are using, for when they're in their you know warfare, what's supposed to be warfare against foreign and domestic, um invaders or terrorists or enemies or whatever. But obviously, there's a whole nother agenda, and it seems like everyone that's in the military, you know whether you are going to do the right thing or not, you know they know that this stuff is they know that this stuff is happening to citizens. They know, because I can't sit here. I would really hate to think someone is actually calling themselves an American patriot, and then they're talking about, we're doing this. I joined the military so I can defend you citizens, da da da. But I'm like, how are you defending me against your own comrades who are using and abusing the technology that's supposed to be meant for terrorists? But they're using it against someone like me because they want to control me, right? And just like any other TI, whether, they want me to become a police officer. I don't want to become a police officer. You know, there's handlers out there that want to control women to become sex slaves. Obviously, nobody wants to become a sex slave. They're basically abusing this technology, and then for whatever reason, I don't think not everybody is a military, a former military veteran or a defense contractor. I think someone is also basically selling access to this technology out to various people all over the world. It's not just a street thing. It's not just the military. It's about principalities. It's about people who do not have any conviction, or they do not have a moral compass. They don't have a code of ethics. I've seen, heard, and read stories about things happening to children with this technology, things happening to elderly people with this technology. You know, there's really no limit. There's really no limit. Um, and you know what? It's very dark and demented. Really, it's dark and demented. I mean, obviously, if you don't know anything about who Colonel Michael Aquino was, then you wouldn't necessarily know just how deeply rooted in basically Luciferianism that this technology truly is, because Michael Aquino helped develop the means and the tactics of this technology, and they're using it. And these people who are these gang stalking people, they're using it, and they don't even understand the spiritual aspects behind it. They think, oh, it's just technology, it's just technology. But I'm like, you do realize paganism is also being used through technology. You're attacking people's spiritual energy using a device. And in the Bible it talks about evil devices being used to attack the righteous and stuff like that. It says it. I don't remember exactly where, but um you can definitely look it up online. All you gotta do is um just type in evil devices mentioned in the Bible, and you'll find those scriptures. So it's not like there's nothing new under the sun. Everything that they're doing is basically the same thing that someone has tried to do in the past. But you know what happens, right? History always repeats itself. There's always going to be a time where evil is going to basically, evil is going to have its high moments. It's going to have its high time where everything seems to be looking very terrible. They're going to feel very powerful, blah, blah, blah. Then there's going to come a time where there's going to be like this influx where it seems like evil is just like completely out of hand, blah, blah, blah. And then at some point, it's gotta hit that curve. That curve is when it's going to take that nosedive. That nosedive is basically when good starts to bring balance back into the world. So I'm like, I can't necessarily allow myself to fear anything or be, completely scared of anything, because why? Everything in this world happens in cycles. So right now they're up. But I can already tell just by how bad everything is getting in the world, their time is up. Right now they're up, but their time is about to run out. So it is what it is. They could get mad all they want to, but I already know that their time is almost up. So, but yeah, I had this taped up here, right? And then I think I told myself I was going to try to take it down and cover my phone so I could be able to charge my phone so it doesn't die. But yeah, so right now they basically have a ton of frequencies all around my head. Like I told you, if you become sensitive enough, you can literally take your hand and move it through the air, and you will feel the density in the air of the electromagnetic smog. You will feel the density, especially around your head, because your head basically works as an antenna. And is your head is basically like a FM AM, it's like a FM receiver. So as I move my hand throughout the spaces around my body and my head, I can feel like a ton of frequencies basically being drawn. They're like being drawn and forced into my body, especially over my head, just like this. It's like I always say that I wish that I could just like, I don't know, if I had like a scalar energy, detector. Because like I have this is only a thermal imager. I have this is only a thermal imager, so it doesn't necessarily detect too well changes like the electromagnetic part. So hold on. Comes in a nice bag. So yeah, this is my thermal gun. So that so you see the temperature of the copper up there. Oh, you know what? Right? So that's the temperature of the copper, right? So you see it's like 82, you know, it's fluctuating between like 81 and 82, stuff like that. If I go to this side wall over here, it shows, you know, 79, 78. But notice these hot spots, right? Notice the hot spots. Here's the TV. The TV's giving off about, oh wait, yeah, here's the TV. TV is giving off, especially towards the bottom, 105, 107, 108, right? Now, that's the lamp. The lamp's giving off like 86, 85. And then you have these different parts throughout the room. You know, notice that trail, right? And then look at that spot right there. See that spot right there? Okay. Going around the room. So you see that there's cool spots, right? And then when you notice, there's like spots that are not so hot. Now they have the heat on in the building, so that's the radiator poles right there. You know, outside, you know, I'm sure it's much colder than 70 degrees, but that's just, I think, let me see. Yeah, it's definitely much colder than that outside. The curtains are reading like 81, 82. Now, always remember radiation. Always remember that radiation can actually be basically stored inside of fabrics. So, right now, here's my bed. This is remember I was telling you about the graphene infused mattress cover. Yeah, so just take a look. So yeah, now I'm gonna show you something else, right? So that's my thermal reader. Now over here, where did I put it? This is my, oh, did you catch that already? This is my EMF, my electromagnetic radiation tester. Now, notice how I'm not necessarily standing near a device, and I'm gonna make sure the sound is on. So if I put this near the phone, it should. So when you think about it, the phone, the tester has a threshold of 40 microteslas. That's the bottom number, or it's like, well, it's a 0.40 microteslas, or it'll be 4.0 4 volts per what is it, volts per mass, I think. That's for the electrical radiation, right? Now watch this. If I place this near, so you see, as I get closer to, Boom. Look at that. Okay. Come over here, right? Nothing from the TV. Nothing really with the cable box. Right. Um, Even the remote to my TV. So also remember, if it's electronic, they can basically interfere with it. But yeah. Now, but if I try to go around different like parts of the room, it doesn't really give off a sound or anything. But you also got to read the documents about scalar energy and how it basically takes energy particles from things that are producing an electromagnetic field. Whatever that is producing an electromagnetic field, whatever that's producing an electromagnetic field, with scalar weaponization, it basically takes the the charged particles that's from that electronic device that's producing the electromagnetic field. It takes the charged particles from that field and then it focuses it into a tight beam. That's how they basically attack you with directed energy. So what they'll do is they'll have two different transmitters focused on a particular spot, whether it's like a room or it could be a device or something like that, or wherever you're at. They'll take two transmitters and focus it on that spot wherever you're at, and they'll create an influx of basically dirty electricity in your room or in your home, wherever you're at. Especially especially if you're in a train, well, a train is basically a big ass like a train is basically like a big ass radiation bath of energy and whatnot. So because it's a big chunk of metal and it's full of just straight up electricity. So basically they'll cause an influx or a power surge. Notice how many people's light bills are going up more because they're causing power surges, right? They're causing the power surge in your homes so then they can juice up their scalar weapons. They cause the power surge, and then what they'll do is basically they will take the energy that they cause from the power surge. They'll take the energy from anything that's producing an electromagnetic field. So like right now, my hand, I can feel the density in the air of the radiation. So like so right here, I can feel the density in the air. That's how much radiation is coming from there, right? So, um, and I don't know if you could probably hear them talking about me now, but yeah. So they create the influx, the dirty electricity. They boost the entire room with dirty electricity, and then from whatever transmitters or whatever device they're using to create the beam to focus and concentrate the energy, they'll take that and then they'll send it to your body. Now I don't know how long I'm gonna be here for, especially after that one dream I had. I was like, I don't know, maybe that was my sign to let me know my time is up. I don't know, but I just gotta chill. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to let y'all know that if you take this, if you decide to buy some of these, I want to get more. I want to, I got at least two more fabrics that I want to try out and test. I'm gonna see if it makes a difference if I just clip that. So I clip that to there to see if it makes a difference. Now, as I'm standing here right under this, the pressure that was in my head just went down dramatically. Oh, yeah. So there's definitely some positives to buying these EMF protective shielding. So what I'm gonna do is at the end of this video, I'm going to show you at least the fabrics that I have on my eBay watch list. And if you don't find it on eBay, I'm sure you could probably find it on Amazon, or you could go to probably the companies that make the fabrics, and you can, buy it, directly from them. It's hot in here, but I don't want to open the window, because if I open the window, that's kind of like letting more of the chemtrails in my apartment or whatever. But the air vent, they cleaned up when they did all that construction before. Let me see. I think before 2020, the ceiling and the floors used to be a lot more dense. Like you couldn't hear conversations of other people in their apartment. You couldn't hear